Football. Jonathan is here with me. I'm Ron Frazier with the Phoenix Citizen. We just want to give you some insight on tonight's game. Jonathan will be handling the play-by-play. The last game, Glenwood played this same team in Selma and won 63-32. However, last week, Monroe wound up scoring 40 points in the second half to win their game 40-30. They scored 32 points against Glenwood and 40 against Autauga Academy. So they've got an offense. The problem is they can't stop anybody. And we're just going to see if that's going to happen. Lee Scott is already in the championship game. They have won their game 41-0 against Valiant Cross last night. So that means the winner of this game will face the Lee Scott Warriors for the title. One real key thing, that is that many of the players for Morgan Academy did not dress out. They have caught the flu bug. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen here. We're just going to wait and see. If you had on your camera, you could see that they don't have a large contingent of players behind their thing. Anyway, they have the kickoff, and I'll turn it over to you, Jonathan.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ron. We are eagerly anticipating the arrival to the field of the hometown Glenwood Gators. A nice, humid, hot night for some football here in the playoffs.
Who's ready for some Glenwood Gator football?
Clements is a force for Morgan Academy. That's their quarterback, number 4. I understand he's one of them that's a little bit under the weather. Against Glenwood in that loss to the Gators, he threw 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
and scored 1 running. So he is the center of their offense. His main receiver is Ryan Williams. He was out there helping with the coin toss, and he is his number 1 wide receiver. But as you can see, Jonathan, that's not a lot of players.
That is not a large team at all.
I see 15 total. It looked like they're dressed out, maybe 14.
Wow.
So that means there's going to be players going both ways
And here
for the
come
Senators.
the Glenwood Gators. Not a problem with the number of people on this sideline over here. It's going to be interesting to see how the Senators can keep up with both sides of the ball having the same people pull double the work tonight.
I freely admit I did not see who got the coin toss, but it looked like that Glenwood's, I'm trying to see if their kicker is out there. That looks like Glenwood's going to kick off to Morgan.
I'd say that is about right. Yes, the Senators, thank you. The Senators are lining up to put a man back deep and receive the ball. So Glenwood will be kicking off to start the game off. So back deep for the Senators is John Allen Ingram and Ryan Williams. The kicker for the Glenwood Gators is Griffin Montroy. Been a force for the Gators this year. Fantastic in the kicking that we've seen so far. Hopefully that continues here into the postseason as the Gators look to get this game started off right. And they are going to squib it across the ground. The Senators touch the ball. And the Gators tried to capitalize on what would have been a nice turnover in the red zone, but the Senators fall on the ball and will have the ball right around the 20-yard line.
Looks like they spotted it dead on the, well, maybe a little bit past the 20 to the 21. We'll call it the 21.
That sounds good to me. And here we go. So as you were saying, Clements, the quarterback for the Senators, is back. He takes a snap, he throws, and that is incomplete.
Clements likes to pass from, it's not really a shotgun, it's more like what they used to call a pistol, where he's set back. He's not behind center, but he's not way back from center. He's only like 4-5 yards. That gives him a quick time to quick read. As you can see, they believe in the spread offense as well.
Oh, absolutely. It is, he throws, but a nice deep ball, and it's intercepted by the Glenwood Gators. He's going to turn around, and he's going to try to go somewhere, but he gets tackled pretty quickly, so that is intercepted and going to be down right around the 46-yard line by Camden White, the junior safety for the Glenwood Gators. That was a beautiful read and a beautiful play on the ball. Cradled it, turned around, and tried to get somewhere. But with the field being this wet, I'm not surprised he got tackled pretty quickly there.
He might have gotten 2 or 3 yards on that turnaround, but that's about it.
Just about. And so now here come the Glenwood Gators with Dallas Crow at quarterback. And Lamont Burton and JT Banks out there on the field. Dallas Crow keeps it and gets leveled after a 15-yard gain.
The Senators, versus Glenwood, first down.
As soon as they spot it, go ahead and run forward.
Looks like they're going to run the same look offense. And this time they hand it off to Aaron Burton, who goes around to the outside. And it stays on his feet, reverses up the field, and gets another 15 yards. 2 fantastic plays to get the offense started for Glenwood here tonight.
One thing I think Glenwood has the advantage of is they do have a running attack. They don't just pass the ball.
Absolutely. Refs took a brief timeout to reset the chains.
That's Banks set behind Crow.
He's going to take it and try to go right up the middle. He got stuffed after a gain of about 1.
Well, no, they gave him more than that.
They gave him 2.
Now, he is the Gators' leading ball carrier yardage-wise, so you can expect that they would have probably teed off on him. What they may not remember is Aaron Burton was their leading rusher last year, number 3.
Absolutely. And so they go right back to Banks. He got right back to the line to gain.
Nothing.
So it's going to be 3rd and 8 for the Glenwood Gators. A little bit of a hard count there by Dallas Crow, trying to draw some players offside. Now they're going to change their look a little bit. He looks to pass, and that is a completion, and he gets the first down.
Crow's pass is complete to number 15, Jackson Milam.
That was to Jackson Milam, number 15, the senior wide receiver, who's also been having a good season.
Picks up a Glenwood.
And another first down, too. By the way, just as a side comment, Jackson just signed a baseball scholarship with South Alabama this week.
All right. Well, congratulations to Mr. Milam out there. And they hand it off to Burton, who finds a hole and muscles his way through and stays on his feet. And that is a touchdown for the Glenwood Gators. That was a nice run, a nice offensive drive for the Glenwood Gators. A lot of running of the ball. It seems to be their go-to tonight on a very wet field.
It was Banks that scored a touchdown. 6.
And that was once again by J.T. Banks, the touchdown. Glenwood setting up for a trick play and then gets ready to kick the extra point. And it's good. So with 9 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first quarter, the Glenwood Gators are up 7-0.
Beam is delivering gig speed internet to 100% of our network. But should you get a gig? Well, if you want to download an album in a blink, video conference in 4K, make virtual reality more real, power all of your home smart devices at the same time, and still have bandwidth to stream everything without buffering, then yeah, you gotta get a gig. So call, click, or visit and get it. Because when you gotta get a gig, you gotta go with Beam. Bringing East Alabama more.
I think we saw in that first touchdown drive of Glenwood just exactly what the problem is with Morgan tonight. Their quarterback Clements can throw the ball. There's no doubt about that. But they don't have the running attack that Glenwood has. So we've got a penalty on the kickoff.
It looks like they didn't start the clock. Yep, the kicker just did not.
They didn't give him. Yeah,
give him time.
Oh yeah, they didn't give him time to start play, and he kicked it a little early. Good idea. We need to wait to be sure we didn't say something that was incorrect there.
All right, here we go. And a nice little kick. And it's going to stay in bounds. That was a nice kick. It looked for a second like it might turn and bounce out of bounds, but it trotted all the way down to, let's see where they spotted. Looks like it's around the 10.
That was very fortunate because they would have the ball on the 35 if they had gone out of bounds, but it did not. So they are in a hole at the 10. Let's see what happens.
They faked the snap to the quarterback on a wildcat. Looked like a direct snap to number 42, which is Alan Michael Creech, the fullback. But it looks like that was a no gain on the play. And there's a penalty on the field. It looks like it's going to be a false start. And it is. And so the Senators are going to back up 5 yards.
For them, that's an unfortunate penalty that close to the end zone. That could give Glenwood a reason to pin their ears back on the pass rush if they decide to try to throw. I don't think they. We'll see. We'll see what they call.
So Clements looks to pass. He scrambles the outside. He lets it go, and that's going to fall out of bounds, incomplete. Third and long for the Morgan Academy Senators.
I think he threw that so he wouldn't take a safety.
Excellent idea. The Glenwood Gator fans are definitely loving what they're seeing so far. Play through the air, and it is complete, but it will not get the yardage needed. And so the Senators will bring, well, I say bring out the punt team. I don't really think there's that many people to bring out.
He actually lost 3 yards on the reception because I guess he was hoping he would be able to break it, and it didn't happen. So his leading receiver, Ryan Williams, lost 3 yards on the inside screen play.
A short punt to the 40. He's going to pick it up.
It's Camden White.
That's Camden White, and he's going to take it all the way down to the 20-yard line. And so the Glenwood Gators are going to have excellent field position to start another offensive drive. 1st and 10 from the 20.
Oh, they moved it back, Jonathan, 1 yard back to the 21. He's not quite at the 20 yet. We got timeout. And it's timeout.
Timeout Morgan Academy. So that's going to be a timeout with the Gators up 7-0 with 7 minutes left here in the first quarter.
If you're in the market for any backyard structure, shop McGuire's Buildings for the guaranteed best portable buildings with the best warranty in the business. We also offer cabanas, greenhouses, and pergolas, plus all steel carports and garages. At McGuire's Buildings, you'll never feel pressured. Just great quality and friendly service from the family that's been in the business longer than anyone in the area. Delivered or built on site. Purchase, finance, or rent to own. McGuire's Buildings in Phoenix City and Columbus, Georgia. On Veterans Parkway across from Bellwood Body Works. Or visit www.mcguiresbuildings.com.
To catch their breath and be able to keep at it out there.
Oh, absolutely.
But so far, what I see is Glenwood can run the ball on Morgan. And so that really sets up their whole offense, because Glenwood works on a balanced offense. Whereas Morgan, I think, is more oriented to the passing. And they've done a great job this year with their passing attack. You put over 300 points on the scoreboard in 11 games, you've got a good average. But obviously, with shorthanded and not having people to run the ball that they usually do, it's a tough way to go.
Absolutely. First and 10 Gators from the 21. Dallas Crow has J.T. Banks back in the backfield with him, and 2 to either side. And there's going to be a penalty. It's a false start against Glenwood, so it will be 1st and 15 from the 26.
Get him to back up so he can put the ball down. I'm sorry, that was humorous.
And another penalty.
Oh my goodness.
Another false start on Glenwood. Now be 1st and 20 from the 31-yard line for the Glenwood Gators. After such a first good drive, you really hate to go backwards twice in a row.
Poor Coach Nelson's not going to be happy with that type of execution. That's not what he was looking for this close to the goal.
Absolutely. Crow finds his man downfield, and that's going to be one play for a touchdown. 31 yards to the house.
Touchdown, Gators!
It's 12.
That was number 12, the sophomore wide receiver, Mason Crane, for the Glenwood Gators. A beautiful play by Dallas Crow. That ball was perfectly placed. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 7 minutes and 1 second left in the first quarter, Gators are up 14-0.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Perdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I agree. For the fans that see that unusual lineup on the extra point, Glenwood has run 2-point conversion plays off of that, and Griff Gardner has actually thrown 2 2-point conversion passes off of that. So that they do have that kind of in the pocket in case they were to have to need it. Okay, here we go.
Another squib kick.
This looks like number 6 for
This is the running back John Allen Ingram, the senior running back for the Morgan Academy Senators, with a nice little return there.
more of the traditional type. Instead of him having to fall on the ball.
First and 10 Senators from the 27-yard line. They hand it off to the running back, who's going to muscle his way down for about 2 yards.
That's number 6. Double reverse.
A double reverse, and it gets blown up behind the line of scrimmage. That is a loss of yardage there by Milton Hand.
Oh, 4.
So after a loss of 4 yards, it's going to be 3rd and 13 for Morgan Academy. And that's a nice completion there for a first down by quarterback number 4, T.B. Clements. Got just past the line to gain.
It's a Senator first down.
And that will be a Senator first down.
He got
At the 41-yard line.
That's his second completion, I'm sorry. And that was his first positive play, and it was 17 yards long. He did have that other completion for negative yardage earlier.
They line up in the power formation. Running back number 6 takes it around the outside and is going to lose a yard or two.
And they really weren't being bad there. If you can see the field on the camera, that is really wet and slick. So
Extremely wet and slick.
yeah, so they were just trying to get.
The coach's shoes are covered in mud down there.
Yeah, he lost 3.
Loss of 3, so it's going to be 2nd and 13. They go back to another power formation. He drops back, he looks downfield to his one wide receiver, and that is incomplete, but there is a flag on the play. Couldn't find the ball.
Well, it looked like 42 may have intercepted it for Glenwood, but we don't know if that was a penalty on the play of offensive pass.
Pass interference against the Gators.
Yes, so that negates the interception by White. And we'll give Morgan a first down. I believe it comes with a 15-yard.
It does indeed. So it's going to be.
They needed 13, so that would be. First down at the 47.
Yes. And another nice completion. Morgan Academy starting to find some rhythm here. That was a nice catch by number 42, Alan Michael Creech.
In fact, it was a 20-yard reception on that play. So you're right. I told you Clements can light it up as far as the passing is concerned. He can throw the ball.
Pressure. And that ball was thrown just behind number 6, Ingram.
They made him just uncomfortable enough he couldn't throw what he wanted to throw.
And that is another interception by the Glenwood Gators. Nice read on the ball there, and there's a penalty flag in. That was a wonderful interception there by Camden White. That is his 2nd interception of the day.
There is a penalty flag. We're waiting. Oh, holding against Glenwood. Was the preliminary sign.
And it was holding against Glenwood, but that interception still stands.
Take the ball down to about the 14-yard line.
So the ball is going to be placed on the 14-yard line in possession of the Glenwood Gators.
That's too bad. He had a good run back on that, but hey.
And the refs have given Glenwood a sideline warning.
Sideline warning. Block in the back. On the return.
Where do you think that is, Jonathan? About the 15? Is that what you think it is?
Looks like the ref is standing right on the 14-yard line.
Okay.
And there goes the running back for Glenwood. That is JT Banks, and he is pushing all the way down the sideline.
JT Banks.
What a fantastic run.
Down to the 28 line.
I think that more than makes up for the penalty down there.
Yes, sir. I would say so.
First down.
58-yard total for Banks on that one run.
Wow. Just like that, it is 1st and 10 from the opposite 29-yard line.
And
there they go with JT Banks again, and he is going to muscle all the way in for a touchdown. The Glenwood Gators, 3 offensive drives and 3 touchdowns to show for it with 3 minutes and 9 seconds left here in just the first quarter.
Well, they didn't have too much to worry about that 76 yards. Just give it to 6.
Well, after another good defensive showing by the Glenwood Gators and Camden White's 2nd interception of the day, JT Banks carried it all the way down the field himself to make the score 20-0 for the Glenwood Gators.
They hadn't got the extra point up there yet.
What is community? Is it a neighborhood? The businesses and homes inside it? Maybe community isn't just a place. Maybe it's a state of mind that when we care together, cheer together, we're closer to what really counts. At Beam, we're finding new ways to bring us all closer. And you'll find us right out there with you. Because community is always on our mind. Beam, bringing East Alabama more.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I'd love to go down there. I will. I'll let you know.
I might miss that. It says 20.
Yeah, just take off.
Yeah, it's 21 now.
Okay. He kicked it.
So after a few good drives here offensively and a great showing defensively so far, the Gators are kicking off for the 4th time tonight. And that was a very short kick that was returned all the way to the 44-yard line by, once again, Alan Michael Creech, the fullback for Morgan Academy.
Creech takes the ball to the 44-yard line. First and 10 and 7.
I think they meant for that ball to go a little further down the field.
I think so.
And Creech made sure it didn't, which was smart on his part.
Very smart on his part. So Clements with 3 right and 2 left gets pressured, and he is going to get sacked. And that is a big sack by the Glenwood Gators. That's going to be a loss of 11 yards. So now it's 2nd and 21 for the Morgan Academy Senators. And so far this game has been all Glenwood from top to bottom. And there is a penalty, and it looks like it's going to be a false start.
Offsides against the Gators.
Oh no, offsides against the Gators is what they signal, and so it will now be 2nd and 16.
I didn't see anybody jump. Maybe they were
didn't either.
lined up.
Might have been lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah. Well, they all count. So here, 2nd down.
Clemens stays up there nice in the pocket, and number 42, Alan Michael Creech, is able to get all the way down to the 45-yard line, which is good enough for a Senators first down. That was a nice catch and an even better effort afterwards to go through a blocker and get the first down.
Yeah, that was a 17-yard gain, so he got 1 yard more than he needed to get the first down. But he did make a good pass, and Creech made a good reception too.
That snap was a little high, but he hands it off to number 6, Ingram. And Ingram almost got around to the outside before he got dropped for a loss of yardage.
Number 8, Chance Coleman. 42, Kent White. Loss was about 1 on the play. 3rd and 11.
It was 2nd and 11. There will be at least one more snap here in the first quarter. Clemens looks downfield, and he gets pressured, and he gets sacked. Another big sack by the Glenwood Gators.
So that's 42.
And that's going to be another loss of 11 yards. So that is going to be 3rd and 22. And they're going to let the clock hit 0 on the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, it is Gators 21 to Senators 0. We will be right back after this.
City Towing is now under new ownership and new management. Now that we are family owned and operated, Bi-City Towing takes pride in our fast and friendly customer service and the availability we have to help and serve you. Breakdowns, collisions, flat tires. We know things happen on the road all the time. At Bi-City Towing, we understand. And with many years of experience, we are here for all your towing needs 24/7. Call Bi-City Towing at 334-732-1TOW.
There's regular Wi-Fi, and there's new Magnify Intelligent Wi-Fi from Beam. It learns which devices use more data and knows when to push more speed to the rooms you want, automatically. Just imagine, no more dead zones, no more battles over bandwidth. No doubt this is the way whole home Wi-Fi is meant to be. Intelligent. Magnify your internet with Beam.
Well, that was a long first quarter, but it was a very productive first quarter for Glenwood. Anytime you can score 3 touchdowns to none.
That was a fantastically strong quarter on both sides of the ball for the Glenwood Gators as Clemens takes the snap. It was a high snap. He scrambles around to the right side, and he manages to get it to his wide receiver.
Looked like number 7.
Number 7, Milton Hand, the junior wide receiver. And that was a fantastic effort. After the catch, he muscled all the way down. He just couldn't quite get there. It looks like it's about 4th and 4.
Yeah.
For the
He got a 21-yard gain, though, on that.
All things considered, I think the Senators will take that.
Yes.
And it looks like the Senators are going to go for it. And they are. And Clements gets pressured. He looks downfield. He fires. That ball is tipped by the Glenwood Gators, and it's going to be a turnover on down. So another fantastic defensive stop by the Glenwood Gators opens this second quarter with the Gators getting the ball with 11 minutes and 3 seconds left in the half, up 21-0. I'll tell you what, the Gators have just been absolutely electric tonight so far. And that's what you like to see in a home playoff game.
Oh, absolutely. That's the reason they wanted to play at home. So I give them all the credit in the world. They did a great job. And it just goes to show that they've been playing good. I say that. They've been playing good defensive football in the latter part of the year.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to hand that ball off to Aaron Burton, number 3, who rips off a fantastic run.
Number 7 goes to hand. Takes the ball down to the 36.
This is a 20-yard run.
Picks up another Glenwood. First down.
When your running backs are getting double-digit gains, you're doing the job on the running game.
Absolutely. They hand it. No, Crow kept it. Fantastic keep, and he's going to run it all the way down to the 12-yard line. It's not just the running backs getting double-digit gains today.
24.
24-yard run for Dallas Crow, the quarterback. And the Gators are going high octane on the ground and through the air tonight with a defense to match. They hand it off to Banks. There is a flag on the play.
I think it's going to be on Glenwood, but we'll wait for the call.
What do you call it?
Blocking the back on the Glenwood Gators, so it is coming back.
Flag against the Gators. We've been blocking the back against the Gators.
I know he was overzealous, but I really think he didn't even actually have to hit that guy. I think J.T. Banks would have scored anyway, but that's neither here nor there. It's still a penalty.
Oh, absolutely. It is definitely still a penalty, but sometimes you just really like to get in on the action and you get a little carried away.
Because it's a spot foul, he actually lost only 7 yards on the penalty, but
that's a nice throw by Dallas Crow right across the middle, and it looks like that's going to be right down at the 1-yard line.
All resting about the 5.
Oh, they brought it back to the 5-yard line.
Aaron Burton was the receiver.
So Aaron Burton's getting it done in the run game and the passing game tonight. As the Gators look to punch in another touchdown this evening. They hand it off to J.T. Banks, and that is another Glenwood Gators touchdown. So that's what, 3 rushing touchdowns for Banks tonight? When the man's getting it done, the man's getting it done. Why not keep feeding them? The Gators line up for an extra point attempt. And that one is good as well. And so with 9 minutes and 39 seconds left in the first half, the Gators are up 28-0.
Beam is delivering gig speed internet to 100% of our network. But should you get a gig? Well, if you want to download an album in a blink, video conference in 4K, make virtual reality more real, power all of your home smart devices at the same time, and still have bandwidth to stream everything without buffering, then yeah, you gotta get a gig. So call, click, or visit and get it. Because when you gotta get a gig, you gotta go with Beam. Bringing East Alabama more.
Offense is hitting on all cylinders, but the Glenwood defense has really set a tone for this game to be sure that the Gators stay on top. When you get somebody down, you want to be sure that you don't give them too much of an opportunity to get back in the game. And I don't think the defense is wanting to give up any points tonight, let alone a loss. That's certainly, I think, something that's not going to happen tonight if Glenwood keeps playing like this.
Absolutely. And speaking of the kickoff, I think Montroy is getting a little more action than we were expecting him to get at this point in the game. It's his 4th extra point and his 5th kickoff of the evening.
And we're still trying to get to halftime.
And this time they put that ball in the air, and it's going to go all the way back for a touchback. First touchback of the night. So now the Senators looking to get something going here, put some points on the board, are going to start from the 25-yard line. Nope, the 20-yard line.
Yeah, 20.
They came out with the reverse, and Glenwood
smelled it out because it looked like it was going to break, and it didn't.
That was John Allen Ingram with another carry tonight. A gain of 4, 2nd down and 6 for the Senators.
That's their first positive yards rushing for the night.
Wow.
It's either been a no gain or negative.
Clements looks to pass. He finds his man, but he is stopped just short of the line to gain, so it's going to be 3rd and 1.
That was to Creech again, who's turning into his favorite receiver here, because it's a quick pass that he can get off.
Oh, yeah. If the check down works, the check down works.
That's right, because they're not able to move the ball otherwise.
Power formation lined up here, and they're going to hand the ball off, and they muscle down, and it's going to be marked just past the line to gain, which will be a Senators first down.
He's got a 1 first down versus Kansas Senators. Out to midfield. First and 10 Senators at the 50-yard line.
Well, that will move the Senators down to 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So a 5-yard gain became a 20-yard gain because of the penalty.
With the game going the way it has so far, if you're the Senators, you'll take the yardage where you can get it.
Yes, sir. I think you're right.
And Glenwood was stingy on that play and gave up 1 yard.
Chance Coleman on tackle. Lamar Burton. Number 4.
It's fullback again, 42, Creech.
Second and 9 for the Senators. Clements faked the handoff twice, and he's going to let it fly. And he found his man. That was a wonderful completion until it wasn't. Number 7, Milton Hand, got absolutely leveled down there and couldn't hold on to the ball. It was a beautiful throw and almost a nice catch. Excellent defensive play by Glenwood there.
It was like a double handoff with one of them being kind of a reverse, and then he went back to throw, and that Hand certainly did get free, but they covered ground and kept.
Now that was a wonderful pass and a good completion.
Number 8.
That was to number 8, Ryan Williams, and that will be a completion for a first down.
So first down for the Senators.
The Senators once again finding a little momentum, a little rhythm here. Moving the ball downfield, definitely aided by that late hit call. They hand it off to Ingram again, who gets tripped up. That was a nice play right there by number 9, Tyler Porterfield, or Lane Griggs, my apologies. That was a wonderful spy there. And he drops him for a loss of 1, so it's 2nd and 11.
Last call for cheerleaders coming around. If you can see these cheerleaders coming around, each dollar bill's out.
Clements looks to pass, and he gets flushed, and he gets sacked big.
7.
A nice play by Samaj Williams. The defensive lineman, that is a junior, and he was playing phenomenally so far this game.
46-yard line.
It was a nice sack.
14-yard loss. That's Clements' 3rd double-digit sack of the game.
It's going to be 3rd and 25 for the Senators. Nice pass by Clements, but that play gets blown up well before he even got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Through to Williams, number 8.
Number 18, Wyatt Tharp. The 4th down and long.
That was a nice play there by Wyatt Tharp for the Gators to make that tackle. And the Senators are going to punt here on 4th and 16. Short punt. He's just going to let it roll, but it's not going to roll quite to the end zone, so it's going to be down right around the looks around the 9-yard line. The Gators will have 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left in the half.
Well, you have to give Glenwood's defense a lot of credit. It's obvious that they're going to throw the ball a lot, and they put pressure on the quarterback and done what they needed to do and prevented them from scoring. So now let's see what happens on these plays on offense.
Absolutely. And they're going to hand it around to, looks like that's Banks. And he's got nobody between him and the end zone, and that is going to be one play, a 91-yard touchdown run. But there is a flag on the play, and every indication is that is going to be coming back. Holding against the Glenwood Gators.
Oh my goodness.
That is just crushing. That was one of the best touchdown runs I have seen in a while. In my heart, that was a touchdown run.
All right. So it'll still be 1st down. The question is, where did the hold? It looks like it was a good 10 yards down the field. So this is going to look strange in the stats, but they actually gained 5 yards on the penalty because of where it was. So it's 1st and 5 at the 14. Even though they got a minus 10 yards, it was up the field. Well, now I take that back. Here I am writing this all down, and they're putting the ball back at the original line of scrimmage. So there's some discussion. I apologize for giving incorrect information. It looks like they're just going to have it 1st and 10 at the 9. I'm assuming there was a penalty because he didn't get a touchdown.
They hand it off to Banks, and he extends. So he's going to get a couple yards. And it looks like it's only a couple. It's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 11. Person on the tackle was Alan Michael Creech, the fullback that's been getting a lot of targets from Clements. He is certainly putting in a lot of work tonight to try and make up for their lack of depth on the sideline over there for the Senators. They're going to hand it off to Banks, and he finds a hole, and he stays on his feet. He breaks another tackle, and then he's finally brought down. That was a nice tackle by number 8, Ryan Williams, but that was a massive gain over there by Banks.
And a mighty nice stiff arm on that first one, too.
Drove him straight into the dirt, or the mud, I guess. But
thing is, it slowed him down enough that 8 came up and did make the tackle, so he did something to help out his teammates.
Absolutely. And Crow is going to pass it. And that just falls incomplete. There was a nice little tug of war going down here. Nice play made on the ball by Jackson Milam, but he just was not able to come up with that ball.
That is actually his first incompletion.
Wow.
Crow's first incompletion.
And they're going to hand it off
to you know who.
But there is a
Another
flag on the play. That's just absolutely killer. Already on this drive, we've had 2 really nice runs negated by penalties. Another holding call against the Glenwood Gators.
And that was Aaron Burton that they called it again, that was running the ball, not calling the penalty against. I apologize.
It's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 48-yard line.
So he gained 9 yards on the penalty. How about that?
Spot fouls are interesting things,
aren't they?
And they're going to hand it off again to Burton. And he's going to find a hole and shoot the gap, and he almost broke a tackle there. He muscled his way all the way down to the 31-yard line. That was a fantastic run by Burton.
Now to the 31-yard line.
20.
Glenwood, first down.
That is a 20-yard gain. I'll tell you what, Glenwood has been loving the ground game tonight. Fantastic work by all of the running backs and the quarterback with 2 very nice runs by Dallas Crow. Clock ticks down to 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the half, and they're going to hand it off again to Burton, who reverses up the field, and that is another first down for the Glenwood Gators.
On the carry, takes it down inside 20 to the 19. For another Glenwood, first down.
A 12-yard gain for Burton. Down to the Glenwood 19. With 1 minute and 18 seconds left, Glenwood is trying to make that score 35-0 before halftime. Dallas Crow keeps it. He throws, and that is a touchdown for the Glenwood Gators. To Jackson Milam, a 19-yard completion. And with 58 seconds left on the board, the Glenwood Gators are looking to make this a 35-point game going into halftime. This has just absolutely been amazing to watch tonight so far, and we have a whole other half of it coming up. Kick is up, kick is good, and it is 35-0 Glenwood with less than a minute left here in the half. What a fantastic possession. Had a touchdown, had it called back, had a couple big runs in there called back, and Glenwood just kept responding and just kept hammering away to get into the end zone.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Back. And here comes the 6th kickoff of the half.
I hope he's doing his leg lift weights.
That was a nice kick.
Yeah.
And that's number 6, Ingram, back there with a nice grab and a nice return and a nice stiff arm. And he's going to be brought down at the 45-yard line. That was a great return for the Senators there, who are trying to get something on the board so they don't go in with 0 on the board at halftime.
Racing on the 44-yard line of the Senators, 1st and 10.
So, a 35-yard return. That's their best return of the night.
Well, it's been marked down at the 44-yard line with 44.8 seconds left.
He threw his watch.
All right, and a false start by the Senators.
Field against the Senators. He threw something that wasn't a flag.
First and 15 from the 39-yard line. It's going to be pressure on Clements, who throws the ball, and that's a nice completion, but a big hit for a loss by Lamont Burton, brother of running back Aaron Burton. That'll be a timeout taken by the Senators with 30 seconds left in the half.
He lost 2 on the reception.
A loss of 2 yards. Make it 2nd and 17 when we come back from the timeout. If you're Glenwood right now and you're about to go into this half, you are feeling pretty good about this game so far.
And you have to say that the defense has done what they needed to do to make that trip next week to Montgomery.
Oh, absolutely. The Senators come back out on the field facing 2nd and 17. Nice pass by Clements, and that is complete. That is a big completion. That will be a first down
to 8.
To number 8, Ryan Williams. See where they mark it down. Looks like it's going to be marked down right on the 35-yard line. 26.6 seconds left till halftime. The Senators, a big completion.
28 yards.
Of 28 yards to keep their hopes of getting up on the board before halftime alive.
Williams is their top receiver, too, for the year. He leads the team in receptions.
Clements gets flushed out of the pocket, and a nice attempt, but that pass is incomplete. Now there's a flag on the play.
Boy, yeah, I think you could see that flag. Not sure what's going on, but
it was a nice throw by the ref, either way.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Unsportsmanlike conduct against Glenwood.
Unsportsmanlike against Glenwood, and that is just a killer penalty.
Again, Coach Nelson will have a discussion there. It'll be 1st and 10 on about the 20, I believe.
20-yard line, 1st and 10 Senators.
1st and 10 Senators from the 20. Glenwood's defense just has to hold on for 21 seconds to make this a scoreless first half. The ref just fell down right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it's pretty wet and muddy there, and he is, I'm going to say this as nice as I can, He is not a little man. So if he loses his balance, he is going to go down. He can't help it.
A nice effort on the attempt to break up the pass, but luckily the wide receiver dropped that pass.
It was a little high, and because he had to throw it over the defensive back, but it was catchable, I think.
It definitely was catchable. But if you're Glenwood, you're definitely glad that he dropped that ball.
Yes, sir. 15 seconds.
15 seconds left.
Probably 2 more plays, or 3, since they get to 4th down, they would probably go for it if they had time.
Second and 10, high snap. Clemens looks downfield, another nice pass. The incomplete pass, I think they're going to rule it uncatchable.
Looked like everybody that went in that area of the field slipped.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of, these white uniforms for the Senators are definitely taking a beating tonight.
Yes, sir. I agree with you there.
You can certainly tell that there are quite a few dirty jerseys.
So we apologize if we're missing the numbers of some of the plays by Morgan Academy, but the backs of some of their jerseys are indecipherable from up here in the press box.
Clemens looks to pass again, gets hit as he throws. Let's see what they rule. That's incomplete, but it would have been intercepted by Glenwood if the Morgan Academy receiver had not turned into a defender there.
And he is limping.
Yes, he is. And that is not good for Morgan Academy. They do not have that many backup players.
Well, like I said, they could get 3 plays. It goes to 4th down. They have 1 second. 1.7.
At this point, why not take a shot at the end zone?
I think that's what they're going to do.
Rather come away with 7 than miss a field goal.
They did call their final timeout.
I think it's a good idea. So we've got 1 second left to go here in the first half. Glenwood up 35-0. The Senators looking to respond and get some points up on the board so they're not shut out in the first half.
Clemens has thrown 21 balls in the first half already. So they're filling the air with footballs, trying to get something on the scoreboard. And I think Glenwood expected that. And to be absolutely sure, they made sure that the running game was not going to be an issue tonight.
The running backs and the quarterback have been working very hard tonight for the Glenwood Gators on the run game. Dallas Crow has been excellent in the passing game as well. Offensive line has been getting good blocks, opening good holes. The defense has been playing lights out so far. All right, and the Senators are lining up on 4th and 10 to take a shot into the end zone to end the half here. Glenwood's secondary drops back into a prevent defense. Clock hits 0, and Clements just slides and runs out the half. And he got a nice power slide in there on this wet ground. And so that is the end of the first half. Glenwood 35 to the visiting Morgan Academy Senators 0. We will be back in the second half.
We'll have totals for offense and highlights as to some of the big plays that we saw that felt were important in this 35-0 halftime lead.
Beam is delivering gig speed internet to 100% of our network. But should you get a gig? Well, if you want to download an album in a blink, video conference in 4K, make virtual reality more real, power all of your home smart devices at the same time, and still have bandwidth to stream everything without buffering, then yeah, you gotta get a gig. So call, click, or visit and get it. Because when you gotta get a gig, you gotta go with Beam. Bringing East Alabama more.
You know, and I will have to say that is semifinal game with a limited roster of plays. So it's just one of those things that happens in football.
Absolutely.
Beam is delivering gig speed internet to 100% of our network. But should you get a gig? Well, if you want to download an album in a blink, video conference in 4K, make virtual reality more real, power all of your home smart devices at the same time, and still have bandwidth to stream everything without buffering, then yeah, you gotta get a gig. So call, click, or visit and get it. Because when you gotta get a gig, you gotta go with Beam. Bringing East Alabama more.
There's regular Wi-Fi, and there's new Magnify Intelligent Wi-Fi from Beam. It learns which devices use more data and knows when to push more speed to the rooms you want, automatically. Just imagine, no more dead zones, no more battles over bandwidth. No doubt this is the way whole home Wi-Fi is meant to be. Intelligent. Magnify your internet with Beam.
Yet, huh? What we were checking on, folks, and I'm sorry, I apologize, with the score 35-0 by rule, the fourth quarter would be a running clock. We were checking to see if that was a possibility that could, to see what happens, but it looks like it will be a regular full third quarter.
And the Glenwood Gators, up 35-0, are about to receive the ball to open the second half.
Yeah.
And look to come out of the half strong, put another set of points up there on the board. And this is the first time that the Glenwood Gators have been on the receiving end of a kickoff this entire game. Deep for Glenwood is looks like number 15, Jackson Milam.
Right, he does do a lot.
Number
Probably
3, Aaron Burton.
Right.
And that was a decent kick. And Jackson Milam is going to find a hole and break a few tackles, and he pushes all the way into Glenwood territory at the 43-yard line is where they're marking it down.
So he had
They moved
a
it
30.
back
Oh yeah, they
to
did.
the 44.
Okay. Nice run back of 36 yards. That didn't too bad.
And there's a penalty. And it's looking like it's going to be a false start on the Gators. Oh, delay of game.
They didn't watch the clock.
Nice throw by Crow, and that is a Glenwood touchdown.
That is Brandon McCrane, who is Mason McCrane's older brother.
Wow.
Hey, but trust me, I will be back up here. You will see that doctor. Oh, I know it. Yeah. Now you want to change that too.
Looks like Montroy is going to be trying for another kick. Well, that's pretty good. 3 touchdown passes and 6 passing attempts. I'd say he was doing pretty good.
I'd say so, yeah. And that is a good extra point. So with 11 minutes and 37 seconds left in the third quarter, 23 seconds into the second half, the Gators are up 42-0.
I'm thinking we're going to see some of Glenwood's subs in the second half, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
And another kickoff by Griffin Montroy. And a good kickoff at that.
It looks like, nice move.
Nice moves. He's finally going to be forced out of bounds right before he got to the 50-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it around the 48.
It looked like it was John Allen Ingram, number 6, that was running the ball back.
He had the good return there to try and set up an attempt at the end zone at the end of the first half.
Yeah. So he had a 39-yard kickoff return himself. So, all right, 1st and 10 at the 48. Let's see what their offense. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of passing.
A lot.
I may be wrong, but I don't think so.
Well, there's pass number 1, but it's dropped.
And there's no other way to say it, but that's what happened. The intended receiver, number 21, dropped the ball. Of course, I don't think we've called his number all night. That may be the first time they've even attempted to get him the ball. I know that's their sophomore backup.
Second and 10 from the 48. It's a pitch.
And
what a stop by Glenwood. He got knocked out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Yes,
so it's going to be 3rd and 10. They did not signal out of bounds, so the clock is running.
I was thinking that looked like it was number 6 there. But it's hard to tell. Again, their jerseys are getting mighty muddy, but he was the man that came off the wingback position to take the handoff.
Clemens rolls around to his left and just throws it a little too low before he gets hit out of bounds. So it's 4th and 10 from the 48.
He was harassed there, even though there's no sack. In the NFL, they call that a quarterback hurry, and he certainly had a hurry there. Well,
So we'll see what they choose to do. Looks like they're going to punt the ball.
Yeah. Looks like Clemens is going to punt.
So Glenwood scores a quick touchdown to open the game and then forces a 3-and-out on defense. And a very short punt.
Well, it's kind of a flat punt. It's more like one of those punts like you see in a rugby league or something. But
oh yeah,
it was effective. He got it down to the 10, 11 yard line. That's what it looks like. He looks like he's standing right on the 10.
It absolutely does. And Glenwood's offense is back out on the field, and they hand the ball off.
We need to check these.
One thing that's for sure,
one of the Glenwood players is injured, Jonathan. There.
Oh no!
That's the guy that was carrying the ball. Something happened, and they've stopped play. What I was going to say is we needed to check real quick. Glenwood has done some subbing out. We got a new quarterback.
Levi Pender.
Levi Pender is in, and usually when Pender comes in, the Carter Judah is the running back.
I think
it takes a lot of snaps.
I think Carter Judah is the one that's down right now.
I did not see who it was, so. He had a nice gain, whoever, but
that was Carter Judah, and he is limping hard.
That's too bad because he had a nice 6-yard gain there, and he is definitely, it's 2nd and 4. That's too bad because he could have seen a lot of action in the last game that they played. Judas did score a touchdown in the 4th quarter with the 2nd unit.
Mm-hmm.
They do have new players, so I do not know who's in the backfield with Levi at this time. I can't see.
That's an excellent question, but whoever it was just got stuffed.
May have gotten a couple.
It says
24? 24. Yes, 24. And that is Caleb Barker.
Okay.
Well, they gave him 2. So it's 3rd and 2 at the 18.
So on 3rd and 2, we'll see what they go with here. That was a high snap. They run the ball again.
And he was able to fall forward for a yard gain, but that's not enough for the first down.
Not at all. So that is going to be Glenwood's first 3 and out of the evening, unless they elect to go for it here.
With the 2nd unit in it, I don't know that that's going to happen, but they are lined up. Then
there goes the punt unit. The first punt of the night for the Glenwood Gators. But that did chew some time off the clock. We are now under 9 minutes left in the 3rd. Tucker Mims is out there to kick.
I think his number is 16.
And a nice punt it is. But it only gets back
Well,
around the 42-yard line.
Unfortunately for him, the ball bounced backwards and didn't help with that, but he got it up in the air. They weren't going to be able to return that one to him. Unfortunately, he didn't get a lot of yardage out of it.
It definitely does not help that it's going straight down into a sponge down there on the turf.
Yeah. Well, you can expect that with the second unit, but that's the way that Coach Nelson likes to do. He gets everybody that he can in the ball game, and let's face it, 42-0. He doesn't need his first team in there doing stuff.
Exactly. It was a nice game there. Is that Ingram, I think?
Cover, number 32, Lucas Holman.
I honestly cannot see what that number of that player is. We're going to go with 42.
42, so that's going to be Alan Michael Creech.
Yeah.
And that was a nice gain by Creech again. Found a nice hole there.
And that's a first down. That's their first rushing touchdown of the game. He's down to the 18, it looks like. So that was a nice that's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's made by number 9, Lane Griggs. Back to the 24-yard line. Second down long.
That's a very limping halfback. It looks like it was number 8. Oh, I'm sorry, 6. Ingram again, but that did not work too well. He lost 4, 5, and then gives it back to Creech, the inside guy, which makes sense. We apologize for not being able to say who's running the ball. Morgan Academy's uniforms have taken a very distinct gray tone. Would you say that was?
Gray, off brown, somewhere in there.
Yes.
But it's making these numbers from the booth a little difficult. The power formation for Morgan Academy has Creech right behind the quarterback and Ingram right behind him. They pitch it to Ingram and he gets blown up. That's going to be another loss of yardage.
Yep.
Lucas Holman.
That's going to be 4th down and about 15 yards. Maybe even 16.
I've seen teams go slowly to the line of scrimmage, but this may be the slowest.
These Morgan Academy boys, I'll give them credit. They are playing hard, but they are starting to run out of gas. Pass is incomplete, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
He tried to have him run a side, a pattern to the end of, and just kind of lay it up there for him to run under. But I don't think he had any legs to run under the ball.
Right.
All right, we're using their backups now, so once again, we'll have to watch and be careful about who's playing for Glenwood. But we know that Pender's running the show right now.
And they're just going to run the ball right up the middle. Might have gotten a yard, maybe 2. Looks like they're going to mark it for a yard, so that's going to be 2nd and 9. Was there a timeout?
No, he didn't. He's running the clock, so.
Well, the clock stopped moving.
Guys, the clock's not moving.
There he goes. And another run.
This time,
that was a little push by the offensive line. They're just going to keep going. They're just going to keep going, and that's a first down for Glenwood.
Give that kids a lot of credit. 24, impressive. Yeah. Once again.
Caleb Barker.
Caleb Barker. Well, Caleb has ran with firmness and wanting it there, right there, which that was an 11-yard run, and 10 of it was pushing the pile.
Wow.
I would have to say that Morgan Academy are some tired puppy dogs out there.
There is a flag on the play.
So we will not count that run at this time till we find out what's going on.
But another good run by number 24. That's going to go against Glenwood.
Unfortunately for the Gators, things are getting a little sloppy here. So after that 10-yard penalty, ball goes back to about the 29 maybe yard line.
Another good run. Oh!
And another good tackle.
A huge hit. A huge hit from Morgan Academy.
I think he showed a little bit of frustration there.
Oh, absolutely.
I know that's got a lot to do with it. He got a 4-yard run, but
face mask penalty on Morgan Academy.
He sure grabbed that player's mask for sure.
We can see that from here.
Holy mackerel.
Flag will play. Face mask is the call for the Senators.
I think it's Hayden Hard. All right. Anyway, it's a penalty, and it was an obvious penalty too.
Nice little run. Might have gotten a yard, and it did. 3rd and 5 for the Glenwood
That's number
Gators.
36.
Yes, that is Cameron Stone.
Okay. Well, this is the time for these young players to get some shots at playing varsity football, and that's exactly what Ryan Nelson would like his team to be able to do. So can't beat it. This is the
That was
end around.
an end around to Cal Lawrence, the freshman wide receiver, number 82.
Yeah, Lawrence.
It got thrown for a loss, unfortunately.
Fourth down, 8.
4th and 8 now for the Gators, and it looks like they're going to punt. We're now down to under a minute left in the third quarter.
And of course, we'll have a running clock. Can't do that, man. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Is that a timeout? Timeout by Glenwood Gators. So, with 50.6 seconds left in the third quarter, the Glenwood Gators, facing 4th and 8, have taken a timeout, while up 42-0.
I believe that was because of the player running onto the field. They didn't have 11, and they didn't want to get a penalty. And I don't know if he has a penalty or not, but we'll see. I didn't see a flag. I just called the timeout. So I assume he got a timeout in before the potential penalty was called. Mims back in punt formation, gets a low kickoff, but it gets a Glenwood bounce. But it looks like it might have hit the sideline there, so it's going to be kind of out at the 40. Well, that was unfortunate. Looked like it was going to take a good roll, and the ball gets...
8:30 left. They're in the fourth quarter.
Another handoff, and it looks like that was once again to Alan Michael Creech.
It was.
Fell forward for 2 yards. And that might be the final snap of the third quarter. Let's see if they run any hurry up here, but
I don't think there's any hurry up left. I know some boys.
They're letting it run to the fourth quarter. So here we go to the fourth quarter. At the end of the third, Glenwood is still up 42-0 over the Morgan Academy Senators.
At the end of the three.
What is community? Is it a neighborhood? The businesses and homes inside it? Maybe community isn't just a place. Maybe it's a state of mind that when we care together, cheer together, we're closer to what really counts. At Beam, we're finding new ways to bring us all closer. And you'll find us right out there with you, because community is always on our mind. Beam, bringing East Alabama more.
Stupid ass.
Yes, sir. That'll be, yes, sir. Is there any way I can show myself in the front of the gym? Sir, let me sit in the front of the gym. Sure. Yes, sir. Yes. You're welcome. Give me 3 or 9? 9. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't stop.
Oh, we all ready? All right.
I love it. Well, we haven't missed much. It's a running clock now for sure, and essentially their offense is hand the ball to 42 and see what he can do. He's run the ball 3 straight times. They now have a 1st and 10 on the 48, as he's had 2 straight 5-yard runs to start the 4th quarter. Again, we want to mention this is a running clock, and it's not like...
And there's a fumble, and it's recovered by the Glenwood Gators.
Number 45 recovered the fumble.
That fumble was by John Allen Ingram.
Number 6. Yeah.
He's the one that was doing a little taunting there on the last drive by the Glenwood Gators. You know, I'll give it to the Morgan Academy players. They have fought their hearts out today, especially given that they have so few reinforcements.
Yeah, when you're out with illness like that, it makes it real tough. Everybody going both ways in a playoff game that means something that's tough. 24 is back in for Glenwood. He made a couple of nice runs earlier. So,
Caleb Barker. Yeah.
I think the key for Glenwood is just to keep the clock running, run your offense, and just play good football, and don't turn it over.
Right. You want to play a nice clean game. That was a bad snap, and Pender was still able to get a couple yards out of that.
That was heads-up play by Pender, the backup quarterback. He was officially given 1. I actually thought he got a little bit more than that.
I thought he got 2.
Yeah. That's... Oh well. They're tell them to not snap it till it gets down, and you can't blame them for that.
There goes number 24. That looked like a bit of a horse collar tackle. Well, there's definitely some jawing going on down there.
Somebody did some jawing, and I think the guy with the clean uniform of all things was looking right at the umpire, and when he did, he called something, and that flag went up way up in the air again.
So that ref has a fantastic arm.
I'm telling you. And good form when he falls, too.
Absolutely.
Offsetting penalties on both players.
So, we get another 3rd down.
Mm-hmm. He lost 2 on the play, so it's 4th and 9 at the 50.
Well now it's 4th down.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of you guys called it.
Here comes the punt unit. We've already burned the first 4 minutes of this fourth quarter. That was a nice snap and a really good kick.
Ooh, buddy. Now that's what you call a meeting of the minds, so to speak. There at the 16. We'll just say it like
I
that.
was just going to call the fair catch, but
he didn't, and he should have.
Clock still rolling. We are at 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Still roll.
I'm saying it's at the what, 16? We're gonna go.
Yeah, we'll go with the 16. That's a nice hole for a nice run
for Creech. I will say in the second half, at least he's given some credence to their ground game with a couple of nice inside moves and runs.
8-man game is at 11. Then 1A is at 2, 5, and 8.
We are now past the halfway mark here in the fourth quarter. Second and 3. And a nice run. They knocked him out of bounds, so there's no touchdown, but you gotta give it to Morgan Academy. They ripped off a big run here.
And we will be honest, we do not know who that is because you cannot see his uniform number, 7. It was hand. And we'll give him all the credit in the world because that was a heck of a run.
That was fantastic, yeah. It's like it's right at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, so it's a first and goal.
It's the 9. They've marked it at the 9.
All right, the 9, okay. A 67-yard run was their biggest play from scrimmage today.
And wouldn't you know it, they scored a touchdown.
In the mud. I have no idea who scored that touchdown. You cannot see their numbers.
We're now at the 4-minute mark.
Morgan doesn't kick extra points. I meant to tell you. They'll go for 2 no matter. They don't have anyone to kick extra points.
Well then.
So they're going to go for 2.
And they got it.
Yeah.
So with 3.5 minutes left, it's Gators 42 to Senators 8. You got to give some credit to Morgan Academy there on that drive. They have not given up this entire game.
Well, still running even though they haven't set up for that. So this will be the second kickoff that Glenwood has received.
It's crazy to think that the Glenwood Gators have received exactly 2 kickoffs this entire game. That was a nice kick. Good catch.
Yes.
Brook tackle, and he's down.
He's a backup receiver for Glenwood. It looks like they're just wanting the clock to run and not worry about.
Well, they'll need one play. But
Probably just the one.
here it comes.
After a little ways, he's looking, checking the clock.
And that's going to do it.
That's going to be the.
They need the clock out, and as the clock ticks down with 30 seconds left, Glenwood is about to win this game 42-8 over the visiting Morgan Academy Senators to go to Montgomery next week.
Yes, and we appreciate everyone sticking with us. The second half got to be a little bit wild. The main thing is that it's going to be a rematch of Lee Scott and Glenwood. Lee Scott has only given up 50 points all year on defense, so they do have a strong defense. But I will tell you this, of those 50 they gave up, 16 of them was scored by Glenwood in one game. So they are not stopping Glenwood from putting points on the board. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you watch our TV next week at the Cramden Bowl when Glenwood will play Lee Scott for the state championship in AISA Class 3A.
It's the home Gators versus the Lee Scott Warriors.